Today on Singles Court, Ray's been riding Irene's bus.
Every morning I've been picking him up at 7:13 on the corner of Broadview and Main.
He's got the gift of gab, but he can't talk Irene into marriage.
Bang! He proposed marriage to me, and I'm just not ready for that.
Has he rubbed his lucky charms once too often?
I kind of know why he has to
I can
marry
always
me.
find someone else.
And Ken's been testing Alice's patience.
He's taking up so much of my time. He's calling me every day. He wants to come see me every weekend.
He wants a commitment, but she wants time to play doctor without him.
You know you want to marry me. I know I want to marry
tons of
you.
what?
But I want to make sure that you're the right one. I want to take a year off. I want to study.
So now suddenly you're not sure? I mean, what does that mean?
Hi, I'm Michael Day. Welcome to Singles Court, the #1 show on the Singles Broadcast Network and the place where singles come to find help with their relationship problems. And here's the lady who listens to them, nationally syndicated relationship expert Angela Segal.
That is me.
That is you, isn't it?
Yes, I'm trying to decide what I should have for dinner tonight.
Have for dinner?
Yes, I'm thinking either stew or pizza.
Stew or pizza, or you could have pizza stew.
There you go.
There. See?
I knew
It's-
you
you
were
come
here
to
for
me,
something.
I am the producer, I produce answers.
And
much
solve
like
my
you do.
recipes. Thank
yes,
you.
but I don't solve relationships or help them out,
That's
but
for
you
me.
do that. And in the studio today, we have two people who need your help. Say hello to Irene, who is a bus driver, and Ray, who is a construction worker. They met recently, have been going out for about 3 months now, but here's the problem. Ray proposed to Irene. Irene said no, and then Ray broke it off and said, okay, well, forget about it then. But Irene doesn't want to break off the relationship. She just said, whoa, 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 whoa. She just hit the brakes. I'll let them explain it a little better than that, but I call this the case of stop the bus, I'm getting off.
Irene, it seems like you're having some problems with Ray here. What's going on?
Well, you see, Ray and I have been dating for 3 months, and it's been nice. It's been sort of all that I could expect from a relationship. Sort of a funny story how we met. I drive a bus for the city, and
Construction, and I take her the bus to
yeah,
work
so every
day.
morning I've been picking him up at 7:13 on the corner of Broadview and Main. So I've seen him for about 4 months now. And one day it was pouring rain, and he jumped on the bus, and he didn't have any change. So I let him on for free because, I just kind of felt badly for him. He was kind of
I
like
left my wallet at home.
Well, I hope so. You didn't have to change.
Well, so then after that we started talking, and he seemed like a really good guy. And then he asked me out, and I was a little taken back by it. I was sort of surprised that he'd want to date me, but I said sure, why
We
not?
accepted, yeah. We
Why were you
accepted
surprised that he wanted to date you?
He's a lot younger than I am, and I don't think I'm his type. But anyhow, so I just thought, okay, cool. So we'll just date a little bit, and so anyhow, we've been having a really nice
Yeah, it's
time, and
been
he's a
great,
really good
hasn't it?
guy. And I introduced him to my son Jack. I have a 10-year-old son from a previous marriage, and Jack just adores him.
Jack's great. He's at this sort of impressionable age right now where he needs sort of a father figure in his life.
Yeah,
And
and
that's what I sort of come in there.
I admit he's been great at that,
And you just stepped up in 3 months to that?
It appears so, yeah. Jack and
Yeah,
I get
Jack,
along,
they get along
pretty
really well.
famously, yeah.
So it's been a really, it's been a nice courtship. There's been, no pressure of sex. It's just been a really, really nice friendship, courting, and but well, all of a sudden, so it's been kind of going at this nice pace, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, bang! He proposed marriage to me, and I'm just not ready for that. And then instead of just kind of like taking it easy and going along with the flow and continuing the dating and the relationship, he just decided that we should just break up. And that's it. Like he was going to marry me or break up with me. That's
Is that true, right? Was that the choice? Marry me or
Well,
we can't be
it wasn't
together?
really the choice, no, but I
But that's what
offered
happened.
my hand in marriage, right, because I've fallen head over heels for this woman here. But
I understand that.
But then she said no, and that was sort of indicative, I think, of how she really feels about me.
No, I don't think it's indicative of that at all. I think that the fact that you proposed to me after 3 months and I'm just not ready for it. He doesn't appreciate that. I'm just not ready.
why
I've
can't
been
she-
married before.
Okay, why can't she still date you and not marry you right now? Just continue to let the
Well, 'cause
relationship.
I don't really know what taking more time is gonna do,
We're
because
gonna get
it's,
to know
What's
each other
wrong with
better.
finding out?
I'll give you an example. Like
Please do.
my dad and my mother, they had like 3 dates, and
That's a
they've been
different
like married for like
generation.
32 years now.
And I can appreciate
Totally
that, but
happy.
it's
That's great, but what's that got
Different
to do with you and
generation.
her?
A lot of it has to do with my culture, and my culture basically it condones the idea, or it kind of frowns upon the idea of long engagements. you know, because it sort of opens up areas for sin, stuff like that, right?
But the thing is that we do come from different backgrounds, so that's another reason why I'm a little concerned. You know, he's from a different country than I am.
Where are you from?
And I've been married
From
before.
Ireland. It doesn't mean our culture is any worse than this one
I'm not
here,
saying
you know,
that
it's
it
like-
is, but I'm just
different.
saying
It's
different.
different,
So I don't
right.
know sort of what your expectations of family life are, nor do you
I'm
know
just
what
saying it could
mine.
work. That's
Well,
all.
she already has a child.
That's
I mean,
right.
did you also consider that, the fact that the child, all that has to fit together? Getting together with a child and getting along at 3 months is different than when, then 9 months from now you'll have different issues, and then
Right,
child
and then
will be growing
and
up.
it's
But
work.
you'll
Like a
have-
marriage is a work.
But you have some
know,
time
it's
to grow in terms of our relationship. It'd be
Right,
the
but
same
we should
thing.
do
It
that without diving
makes
into
no difference
marriage.
if you're married
It
or
makes
not.
a huge difference because, you know,
don't
once you make that
understand-
commitment to somebody, you know, you want to stay in it, but
I
we're just
don't-
not ready.
I don't understand the ultimatum. Like, I don't understand that if she doesn't marry you,
I
if
just
you
wanna say-
really love her.
I'm sorry. There is no ultimatum.
What do
there.
you call it?
It's
Well,
not an
there is
ultimatum.
no
It's just
ultimatum
she
because he
said-
broke up with me. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I
Well,
called
good point.
I called it quits because I thought that, as I said, I mean, you broke my heart, right? And so I figured that obviously
I
I feel
never wanted to marry
stronger
you.
about you than
I
than
think
you
I
do
could
about
fall
me.
in love with you, and I think that yes, someday we could get married, but just not right now. I don't understand why we need to get married now.
Is that not okay with you? Because you can get back together right now and we can end this. If that's the case, is it okay with you if she says, okay, let's just date? Because you said you
No,
thought she didn't
I don't really understand why she can't take my hand in marriage. To be totally
And I
honest
don't
with you.
understand why, because I think she gave you very good reasons.
You know what? I
My
think that
question
there
to
is
you
a
is,
reason.
well, my question to you is, why does she have to marry you? Why does she have to marry you?
You know, I think that, you know, I kind of know why he has to
I can
marry
always
me.
find someone else. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
do you
You know
mean?
what?
Always find somebody
I think
else.
there's
Find
like
someone.
a root of an issue here that he's not really dealing with. You see, there's kind of a
Really?
little catch-22 here. I actually called his work last week to speak to him, and his boss told me that he was no longer working there. Somehow he didn't have a green card, so they had to let him go. And yeah, he was a great worker and he was really dedicated to his job, but they had to fire him because they couldn't stand the chance of getting caught by immigration or by the authorities. So, you know, obviously that could possibly be the real reason for why you wanted to marry me. Like, isn't it?
that has nothing to do with it because I need a green card, obviously, to work in the country. Right?
Absolutely. So
Right,
you
I
should
need
have
a
done your
green card.
homework.
And also, I got promoted. You know, I got promoted to be a foreman. And in this country, the opportunities are so much better than my other country.
Well,
that has
I'm
nothing to do with our
Right. It
relationship.
has to
That
do
has
because all of
nothing
a
to do with
sudden
our
you were going to
relationship.
get.
Ray, in your country, do they use these? Listen, explain to me how she's supposed to not think that this automatic marriage proposal, the fact that you said that you'll find somebody else, has nothing to do with the fact that you need a green card.
It has everything to do
I
with
think it
that.
has nothing to do with it.
Why? Explain to me
Everything
why
to
it
do
doesn't have anything to do with it.
Because the green card is one thing and our relationship is another thing.
Really?
But
Well,
I
you know
think
what?
that-
Let's build a bridge and connect them. Because if you marry her, then you get your green card. Is that
Absolutely.
correct?
Yeah,
I
if you
suppose
did-
that would happen, yeah.
Oh, just maybe. You'd be walking down the street and one would fall from the sky.
Well, you know, the luck of the Irish,
The
it
thing
just
is that
might.
you know what? I can't believe it. You know, the thing, he should have done his homework before he came to this country because, you know,
I can't get a green card in this country, though. I have to go back to Ireland.
Well,
I'm
you
not
should have
going
thought
back.
of that
Next time I go back to Ireland, I want to be successful.
yeah, but you should have thought that before you came here in the
Successful with
first
what?
place.
Do you really care about her? Because this is about relationships.
And
course
that's
I
the
care
thing, you
about
know, he wants to marry me, but I don't think all the lines of love and romance are true. He has some romanticized idea about it, but it's not going to happen.
I'm just having a hard time with you accusing me of being like a scam artist or something like that because that's
You
not
know,
what
I
I
jumped
think.
into a marriage before too fast with somebody, and he was cheating on me and lying to me. And you know what? I don't know you
But you're
well
always bringing up
enough.
your past. I mean, this is a completely different relationship.
Absolutely, it is. But you have to understand that I have a past, and I'm afraid. So you have to give me a little bit of leeway. If you really are in love with me, you would give me leeway.
Ray, I need to ask you one question.
Right.
Does the green card have anything to do with the fact that you want to marry this woman, or can you have a relationship with her without marrying her?
The green card has nothing to do with our relationship.
Can you have a relationship with her without marrying her?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, I'll be back with my resolution. You don't get a green card for that either. This is obvious. It's called Scam 101. You know, Irene, you were surprised that Ray took an interest in you because there's a little voice going off in your head that said, it's too good to be true. It probably is too good to be true. So we call that intuition. And women, you know, we have that thing. You know, you wanted a fairy tale. And a lot of us do. You wanted a fairy tale and you thought, well, this is great and it'll have a happy ending. And you know what? It does. You said no to his proposal. I look at you and all I can say is, you know, you were set to set her up in this scam and use her basically as a human passport. Sad part is that you included her son, and that was really unfair because now she has to explain to him what happened to the little scoundrel. But that's a good time for him to learn now because, you know, he'll encounter people like you just like everybody does every day in life. You know, If you look hard enough, you will find somebody that'll marry you. That's true. I just hope and pray that when they do make that wrong decision, that they'll look at you and realize that you don't care about anybody but yourself. A person's true motivations are always revealed by their actions. That's how you know. When you look at the situation, you look at his big rush and the refusal to do anything but marry you, his actions proved exactly what his true colors were. Now you think, what are his true colors? Now you would think maybe green because he's from Ireland, but you know what? Your true colors are red, scarlet red, because that's the color that represents the bloodsucker. That's that, my final word.
Next on Singles Court. Ken's been testing Alice's patience.
He's taking up so much of my time. He's calling me every day. He wants to come see me every weekend.
He wants a commitment, but she wants time to play doctor without him.
She's telling me she loves me to death and she wants to marry me. And the next minute it's like, I love you, but I want to go screw other people.
You've had other girlfriends. You know what it's like to have someone else.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Singles Court with nationally syndicated relationship expert Angela Segal.
Remind me next time to tell people not to buy the wedding cake before you have a bride.
That's true, and don't get fitted for the dress until you have a tux or something like that. This is why I don't give the advice. This is why you do it. And it's a good thing because in the studio we have two people who need your assistance again. It just never ends.
Never ends.
Say hello to Alice, who is a nursing student, and Ken, who is an insurance adjuster. The two have been dating for about 2 years. However, Alice feels that she's going into her final year of school and she just needs a bit of a timeout to focus on her studies. Ken is not biting on that hook, though, but I'll let them tell you all about it. But I call this the case of nursing desires.
Well, Ken, what's the problem? Sounds like she just wants a little break.
Yeah, a little break. I mean, we've been going out for 2 years and she wants to break up to have time to finish her schooling.
I didn't say break up. I just need a year off to study because last year I was like failing all my tests, everything.
And I understand that.
And in a year you'll be done with school, so you want that year to study it?
Exactly.
So, is going out with Ken making you dumber, or?
No, it's just that he's taking up so much of my time. He's calling me every day. He wants to come see me every weekend, and I have to stay in the library.
I think that's
but I can understand what you're saying is, look, I'm trying to study. And every time I turn around, there you are with the
and I want to give her that time. All she has to do is explain that to me, and I want to do that for her.
I've explained it to you, though.
Yes, but what I want to do is meet her halfway. I mean, if she only wants to see me like once every 2 weeks, I can drive up there. I'm willing to go up there. She doesn't have to come see me. I know she's got to study.
Let's think about this. Let's not get technical, but halfway to me means I'd like to do this, you'd like to do that, and we meet in the middle. She's saying I don't want to see you at all. You're saying I do. That's not halfway.
She's saying that she needs more time to do her schooling. I'm willing to give her that time.
Like a whole year of not seeing you. That's what she needs.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. If she wants her freedom to do her schoolwork and to study, that's fine. I have no problem with that.
Okay, so
but we're supposed to be in a committed relationship. We're supposed to be in love with each other, eventually moving to get married. I mean, people have problems. They have to work through it.
Okay.
And that's what I want to do.
I would say to him, fine, you know what, come see me every other weekend. But when we see each other, we fight all the time. And I just don't have the time, the patience, the energy.
What do you fight about?
We fight about...
Well, for instance, I was supposed to get something for...
It's funny. You open your mouth and he talks.
Okay,
That's
go
amazing.
ahead.
He enjoys talking for me. Basically, he thinks they're really stupid, petty little things that we fight about, but they're very important to me. There was this one time he was supposed to mail me a transcript from my high school because I wanted to get a student loan. So I ask him, I call him, I'm like, you are in town, could you just pick up my transcript from high school, mail it to me? He did it. He did it late. I didn't get my grades in on time.
She never told me what the time frame was. I had no idea.
Fight.
I went and did it for her, right? But she told.
Sounds like there's some communication issues there. Okay, maybe you didn't tell them exactly
I said
when.
as soon as possible. I said to him, could you please get me my transcript as soon as possible?
See, that would be ASAP. P being very subjective. Possible could mean after I use the bathroom. It can mean after I go to the prom. You understand?
Yeah, but
okay.
But
I did it within 5 days. Okay, I did it within 5 days, and that wasn't enough time.
5 days too late.
It wasn't enough time. Like that's not fair to blame that on me.
I agree with him. I mean, I don't think you clearly communicated that. So let's go past that argument. And the fact that you say that you argue all the time when you're together.
And not only do we argue all the time, but I'm saying to him, like, this means a lot to me. We're fighting over something. And he's like, well, it doesn't mean anything to me. It's petty. It's stupid. Why are you getting so mad? You're like, getting
not
mad over everything.
It's not that, okay, the arguments start out as something which in itself is not that important, and then they blow up into these huge, disagreements
But they
that
are
are like
important to me.
life-shattering.
That's the thing. You're
You know what
saying
I
they're
mean?
not important.
Okay, so
Obviously, that's
let me
something
make
that's
sure I
important
understand
to
you
me.
correctly. So when you do spend time together, you spend it fighting.
Yes.
So you want to spend all next year not seeing each other at all, and you still want to spend time with her so you can fight some more?
No, that's not it. What I'm
Okay.
saying is that I want to work through this. I mean, people have arguments. That's normal.
Not
That's
all
part
the
of a
time, not
relationship.
every time they get
well,
together.
see, I don't think that we are arguing all the time.
Okay, when do you
And-
think you're arguing? If
I
she
mean-
thinks it's all the time, when do you think?
Okay, another instance. Okay, this is to sort of illustrate what happens.
Okay, please.
I was to pick her up. Okay, I was 10 minutes late. Okay, 10 minutes late to go meet with her parents.
My parents, 10 minutes
10
late.
minutes.
That's a big deal when you're meeting with someone's parents. They flew in to visit me. They invited him.
What were your parents doing for the 10 minutes that were so earth-shattering?
Well, it's just my
Exactly, that's my
parents are
point.
very
What are they on,
retentive.
dialysis? Do they have to have that moment?
They
I
didn't
mean,
seem upset.
It's
They
just-
didn't
I
seem
just think
bothered
it's
by it,
rude.
but
I
to
think
her
it's
it
rude
was like
to be
a,
late for something.
Why were you
I
late?
just think it's
I was late because
inappropriate.
of traffic. I was late, nothing to do with what I was doing. I didn't do it to be
You left
malicious.
late.
I did it because it happened.
Do you think, has anyone ever told you this, Alice, that you're kind of rigid in terms of what you expect from him?
I just think it's only fair
I mean,
what I
what do
expect
you
from
expect
him.
from me?
Fair.
I don't understand why you need so much freedom to do what you do. You say you want to have fun, so go have fun. I'm not stopping you from doing
Okay,
that.
so then that's what I'm going to do for the year. I'm
Okay,
gonna
but
go,
why do you need, I don't understand why you need a whole year. Like, why can't you see him once a month or once every
Because
other month?
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is the first
I mean-
time for me that I have ever been in love with anyone. The first time that I've cared for someone. The first time I've ever had a long-term relationship.
So you're in love with somebody and you don't want to see them ever?
I'm just saying that you've had tons of them. You know you want to marry me. I know I want to
I've had
marry
tons of
you.
what?
But I want to make sure that you're the right one. I want to take a year off. I want to study.
So
and
now suddenly you're not sure? I mean, what does that mean?
So is that studying that you're going to be doing for a year? Or
I think
Well, I
she
do
wants
wanna-
to study a little anatomy on the side, or maybe some
My
other.
God.
I mean, is that what you
wouldn't
want?
really
Is that
say
what you
it way.
want?
I do want to meet other people.
You
yeah.
want to meet other people?
I do.
See,
I
that
do
makes
feel
no
that-
sense to me. This is like,
why does that not make sense?
it doesn't make any
She's
sense
had
because
one boyfriend, you.
1 minute she's telling me she loves me to death and she wants to marry me, and the next minute it's
wanna
like I
make
love you,
sure
but I want to go
marry
screw
you.
other
You've
people.
had other girlfriends. You know what it's like to have someone else.
Yeah, and I don't
want
want to go back there. Two
Okay, why is
people
that
in
so
love
wrong?
in a
But you know what? That's how you want to handle it. But you have to look at her and at least say, how would you like to handle this? What she's saying to you is, I would like to see other people as well. Why does it have to be one way or the other? Why can't she see other people and see you?
Because
You're not married.
I understand that, but I believe that it should be a committed relationship. I think that two people are in love and they should stay in love.
It will be a
I don't
committed
want to
relationship
date
and
other
What
people.
about
I don't
what
want to
she-
look for somebody
well, that's
else.
fine, then don't. But let her.
But that makes no sense. That's not a decent relationship. That's
You
not
obviously don't. You're not in love with me if you don't understand where I'm coming from.
I'm in love with you, so I should let you go screw other people. I should let you
I
sleep
think
around.
I
Other
think
people, I
screw
wouldn't
is a
put it
little.
that way.
I don't think that's what
Oh,
she
what
said.
are we talking about? If she wants to have fun, she can go and do that with anytime she wants. She doesn't need to she doesn't need to actually sleep with somebody to have fun.
What you're saying is that the only way she can be with you is to be only in that committed one-on-one relationship. And she's what are you, 22 years old? You don't think that's asking a lot?
No, I don't. Not if you love somebody. And if she doesn't love me, then, what's the point?
I need to know that I'm in love with
Alice,
you.
if you love him, okay, and you wanted to see other people, do you believe you'll still be able to come back to him as your husband-to-be?
I do.
Do you believe that you're old enough, because you're older than she is, do you believe that if it's true love, that she will be able to come back to you? Or are you saying that's impossible, either see you now or that's it?
I just don't buy it. I don't believe it. I don't believe that that's possible.
Well, maybe you need to date women your own age. I'll be back with my resolution.
You need free time. You need to
I'm
have
just saying that you're the
time
only
alone. It
person
doesn't
You can't demand another person feel a certain way. Ken, you have to respect the fact that a 22-year-old, that's what she is, a 22-year-old wants to have other experiences before she settles down with you. And you all have been in a committed relationship for most of her adult life. You should want her to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you are the one. That you should want that. That should not be threatening to you. When I look at you, Alice, I understand what you wanted to tell him. I don't agree with the fact that you went around the bush and didn't just come right out and say, I'd like to see other people. I think he had a right to know the truth, which is that that's what you wanted. But I want you to really understand what you're asking for. When you start to see other people, that will change the dynamics of the relationship as you know it. It will not be the same. And there's an old saying, be careful what you ask for. So just remember that as you embark on this new adventure. And just also understand that he may not be there when you finish wandering around. So just understand what you're up against. You know, relationships, when you look at them in general, you have to understand that it's your responsibility, each of you, to look at the other person's point of view through their eyes. And Ken, you refuse to do that. You would not look at it through her eyes. You would not see it from her point of view. You only saw it from your point of view. And one thing you have to realize is that holding on to her is not going to help her stay with you. Letting her go is going to give her the opportunity to see if, in fact, you are the right one. And you know that if it's true love, if it's really the right thing, in the words of the old Motown song, ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough. You two will be together. And that's the final word.
Well, there it is. Words of wisdom from the lady who tells it like it is. Join us next time here at Singles Court, the final word for singles.